August is the perfect month to start planting your summer garden, and according to our edible garden expert, Ben Getz, he says that there is really an easy way to do it, and he's going to show us exactly how. So if you're thinking of doing that home nursery, this is what you need to be paying attention to. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
And I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, when you said to me in the break that it was easy, I was like, well, you need to show me how exactly. What are the basic steps in starting the summer garden?
Okay, the first thing is you need to place your, well, we're looking specifically at the nursery section. So in other words, growing our own seedlings for the summer garden. Now, for example, is a really good time in terms of seasonal planting to plant things like tomatoes, chilies, eggplants, basil. We've got some examples of the seeds here. So how do we take the seeds and turn them into seedlings?
This is what we want to go for, yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
So what we're looking at is, firstly, where do you place your mini nursery? Important that it's on the sort of northeast side of the house. In other words, it's going to get good morning light, but shade in the afternoon. And the other thing is to try to make sure that it's as sheltered from the wind as possible. So it could even be indoors, inside a windowsill. So position is the first thing. The second thing is your soil medium. I've made a seedling mix here, which what's really important, you can play around with your own mix, but what's most important is that it's well draining. It doesn't even have to have so much nutrient value in it, strangely enough, for the seedlings, because one would ideally feed your seed trays with a liquid fertilizer like earthworm tea, which we've discussed before. But what's most important, as I said, is that it's freely draining.
Very cool.
It must be moist, but must never be overly damp. So how do you get that kind of mix? All right, some potting soil or even just normal sand. Some compost. You can play around with your own ratios, but certainly a lot, at least 2 to 1, so 2 sand, 1 compost. Here's vermiculite, which is a naturally occurring silica mineral, silica-based mineral, which expands when the water, in the presence of water, and it holds water, and it also creates space, which will obviously help with draining. And then this is another one, which is milled bark. And I've sifted it so that it's finely milled bark. And the combination of all of these gives you a very light, fluffy, also organically rich medium. So you'd put that medium then into one of the containers. And of course there's a variety of containers. So in this case, these are quite nice. These kinds of trays, in fact, that I've cut it so that it's smaller, but they're a lot longer, and you can plant a really wide variety.
And that's where you would grow your seedlings from your seeds.
Exactly. So in here, I've already actually placed the seeds I've labeled, which is a very important element, is to label. You can make labels, and this is like an old Tupperware.
You've got basil, you've got chili, you've got tomato, eggplant, beetroot. Very nice.
Exactly. And what's nice about this kind of tray is that we call these plugs. You're going to get 1 plant per plug, like here. You can kind of pull out your seedling plug and plant it directly into the garden. So you get 1 seed per plug. In another, this is a slightly different, slightly more simple scenario, and you could use an ice cream bucket or anything. You just make rows, sprinkle your seeds lightly.
I've seen that one before,
and then you pinch. So I've already sprinkled them. You literally just pinch the soil gently to cover the seedlings, the seeds.
What are some of the most common mistakes that people make when starting a home nursery?
Okay, the biggest one is planting the wrong seeds at the wrong time. So I mean, here, this is a list specifically for a winter rainfall seasonal planting list. So we can kind of look down the list and see exactly when we can plant tomatoes, when we can plant. So wherever you are in South Africa or in the world for that matter, you need to get your local seasonal planting list. That's the biggest mistake. If you plant the right seed at the right time of year, and you've got a nice soil medium, and you make sure that you water regularly, it's pretty hard to go wrong.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ben. That's why my watermelons didn't grow at the right time, because I wasn't, growing them at the time that they were supposed to be growing. So thank you so much for being here with us and for helping us with that home nursery and summer garden. Ben Getz always giving us great advice on how to start the right garden at the right time. We're about to take a quick break. We're cooking again right after this.